What a game. Miami Dolphins beating the Bears. It was probably a closer game than I'd like. We won 35-32, got the dub. Again, another great game. Going for like 360 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Got it done with his legs a little bit. Tyreek Hill, great game, going over 100 and a touchdown. Jaylen Waddle going over 100 and a touchdown. So overall, great game. Also, Jeff Wilson, a new addition from the 49ers we traded for, had a really good game as well, going for a touchdown, some good amount of yardage. Bradley Chubb missed a sack at the end, which would have pretty much put it away. It would have been a long fourth down. He just missed, got wrapped around. But that's all right. He'll pick it up more as the season goes on in Miami. But 9 games have concluded, and we are 6-3. Our 3 losses are without Tua. I guess he started in one of them, but he went out with like 4 minutes left in the second quarter against the Bengals. Probably could have pulled that game out if we had Tua still. The Jets and the Vikings games we both lost. We probably easily could have won with Tua in there. Skylar Thompson was just thrown in there for the Jets a little bit in the Vikings game and just looked not as good as we wanted. Didn't look like his preseason self because he was playing against backups and everything in the preseason. But Teddy Bridgewater, he went in. He played fine for a backup. He played all right. Couldn't get the games out though, which is what we need for him to do. Go in, get the wins. But we're 6-3 nonetheless. Third in the AFC East because the Jets are really picking up slack this year. Patriots right now I believe are 6-4, 5-4. I think 5-4, maybe 6-3. But either way, we're ahead of them because we did beat them week 1. The Bills just lost to the Jets, so they are 6-2. If they lose next week, we will jump ahead of them. We have the Texans next week, which we should go to 7-3 easily. I really like where we're at right now. Mike McDaniel's been going aggressive this year, maybe too aggressive at some points, not kicking a field goal when he needs to, instead going for it on fourth down, which he's trying to assert his dominance is in like being the aggressive play calling coach that Miami wants and needs. I do like him over Flores a lot this year. I think Flores at some points would have been too conservative where McDaniel wasn't scared. But it is what it is. We are 6-3. It's gotten us to this point. Tua's been having a really good year so far. I really like where he's at. Even including the injury, he's thrown for 1,600 yards, just shy of 1,700. 12 touchdowns, which is tied 7th. Again, missing those 3 games, he's still tied 7th. Only thrown 3, so that's a 4-to-1 ratio, pretty good ratio. Tied 5th in that category, good. And he has 79 QBR, which is 1st in that category. So that's really good. I mean, he's always been a consistent quarterback. Going to be able to put on the money, get good numbers up, put it up. Always had a good QBR. Now, Tyreek Hill, through 9 games, he's already had 1,100 receiving yards, which is absurd. He's on track to beat the record, which is Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson is like 1964, I believe. He is on track to beat that if he keeps up his consistency. Already 76 receptions, which again is absurd. Only 3 touchdowns though. He did have one against the Bears. Just now, I'm recording this right after the Bears game. It's about 5 o'clock. Jaylen Waddle gone for 47 catches, 812 yards, 6 touchdowns. I love where he's at too. He's playing really well. He's already around halfway to where he was last year on the receptions, maybe a little bit less. But Tyreek Hill is leading the league in receiving yards, and Jaylen Waddle is 4th in receiving yards in the league. So to have a receiver in 1st and 4th, that's really good. Implementing a good pass game, good run balance too. Usually 1st and 2nd down we run halfback stretch, halfback dive, something like that. I really like that. There was one call in the year where it was like 4th and 4 and he called halfback dive, which is one of those calls that I just really questioned. That's really the one time this season I really questioned Mike McDaniel and his play calling. Aside from that, I think he's got us to a really good spot. Again, Texas next week. I think we have the Browns after that. 2 very winnable games, get us to 8-3. Then we have the Niners, which will not be an easy game. Chargers, which I believe we can win. Beginning of the season, I probably said no, but now I say we definitely can because they've been playing slow recently. They've not been playing for a team I think they are. But the next thing I do want to do is I want to pull up my predictions from the beginning of the year, and I want to see how on the money I was. Alright, so here, under my face cam right here is the 49ers. I'll just tell you what that says. So I had us beating the Patriots and Ravens, which did happen. So I'm good on those. Had us losing to the Bills, underestimating ourselves, which we beat. So right there, I'm 2 for 1 on predictions. Had us beating the Bengals, so I'm 2 for 2. Beating the Jets, I'm 2 for 3 on predictions. 3 for 3 on predictions. 4 for 3. 5 for 3. And 6 for 3 on predictions. So I'm 6 for 3 on predictions, just like we're 6 and 3. Actually, but the 2 I did mess up on was I said losing to the Bills and beating, or the 3 I messed up on was losing to the Bills, beating the Bengals and Jets, which those 3 things did not happen. It was the other way around, which is shocking to me. But again, those games you have to account for the 2 injuries, so I'm not too mad at myself there. So next I have us beating the Browns, beating the Texans, losing to the 49ers under here, which I think we can win that game. We just have to be on top of our game. We have to play pretty well. I mean, this 49ers team is a team that always plays tough. They always play till the whistle, end of the game. So they're not going to back down, so neither can we. We're going to have to come strong defense, which has been killing us these last 2 weeks. I have not been happy to where our defense is at. You know, I think we really need to pick up the slack on defense. Our offense has been playing great, which last year was literally the opposite. That was not the case last year, but Tua really picking it up. And I mean, our run game has gotten so much better. That was a concern at the beginning of the year with Mike McDaniel, was how he was going to implement a run game, how well he was going to run the ball. But I do really like where the running the ball is at. If there's anything I would change on the schedule right now, I would say change the L right there to the Chargers to a W, change the W to the Bills to an L, change the L to the Packers to a W. And besides from those 3 games in a row, I feel the rest is fine. I would just swap those because the Bills they did just lose to the Jets, but the Jets are also a team that's up in the air. They can play really well one week, not so well the other. And the Chargers Herbert's been having a good year, but again, loss of Allen. I'm pretty sure they play without Mike Williams today. So that's a team that's really questionable. I'm on the fence about too. Packers, don't like them at all. They're 3-6. That doesn't mean they've been playing terrible, but they have not been playing to where everyone thought they would be at the beginning of the year, especially me putting them there. And that's a Christmas game, so it would be a good Christmas gift if we can get the Packers to win or get the Packers to lose and us to win. Don't want the Packers to win. Never been a Packers fan. But I feel like we will beat the Patriots and we will beat the Jets coming down the stretch. And if all that does happen, my scenario does play out with us beating the Browns. So we'll go 7-3, then 8-3, then 8-4, then 9-4, 9-5, 10-5, 11-5, 12-5, which was where I put us at the beginning of the year. I do have the same win-loss record as I did at the beginning of the year. I just had some games slipped, some wins turned to losses, loss turned to wins, as Scott Hansen does say for the witching hour, which was pretty funny today. Did any of you guys notice that? He popped a lot more jokes than normal. I mean, I was watching, I was laughing, having a good time. He did pop a lot more jokes than normal. I'm not watching right now. I mean, the games are on, I probably should be, but 1 p.m. slate has always been my favorite. I always watch the 1 p.m. slate. But besides from that, that's really all I wanted to go over. Just revisiting my predictions, my updated predictions from the year. Going over everything that has really played well that I've been noticing. Run game, pass game, defense needs to step it up. Bradley Chubb, another thing I forgot to mention. Those trades, I really like those trades. I haven't made a bunch of videos recently. I didn't make any videos on those trades because I've been so wrapped up in schoolwork, making sure I get good grades so I can get into my college, my dream college, and become an actual broadcaster. So, yeah, I've been wrapped up on that really. But Bradley Chubb, I think we gave away first rounder, Chase Edmonds, and a fourth rounder, which is pretty good value in exchange for Bradley Chubb. We might have gotten a late round pick in that too, but Bradley Chubb is an elite pass rusher that we really needed. Needed more depth at linebacker. This defense really needs to step it up a little bit, and I feel like he can get the wheels turning on defense. Jeff Wilson, I never really was a big Chase Edmonds fan. Every time he got the ball, he'd only get like 2 or 3 yards. Chase Edmonds is a great substitute to that, great counterpart. So getting Chase Edmonds out of there, getting Jeff Wilson I really like. Jeff Wilson had a really good game today against the Bears. Besides from that, that's all I wanted to go over. As always, have a great day. Peace.
People buying, now I'm serving in Tesla. Going back, shawty with me, I stepped up.